What's up, party people? It's Dan, your basement guitar superstar. I'm here at SummerNAMM in Nashville, and we were with Chase Gullett from Gullett Guitars. Yep. Chase, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
So Chase is a custom guitar builder, and I've played a couple of his models, and they're freaking amazing. So I wanted to do an interview with him. So Chase, talk to me about how you got started building guitars.
Well, when I was a kid, I was always into modifying, doing my own pickup swaps, things like that, tuners. And then worked in cabinet shops as I grew older, and eventually decided it'd be cool to build a guitar, and tried it, and it came out a little better than expected. So I did it again and a few more times, and eventually had guys making orders, and was able to start my own business and kind of go from there. So
right, and I think you told me the other day you started in what, 2015 or somewhere thereabouts.
Started the business in 2015, built the first couple of guitars, 13, 14, right around that ballpark. And then, so we had a short hiatus, mid-19, and then most of 2020 was kind of a wash for us as far as there's some logistics going on there. But we're kind of back at it, full swing, new shop location, and that's why we're out here for NAMM, trying to show off what we do and grow the business a little.
Awesome. So, and these are all hand built, right?
Yes.
You don't do it based on kits.
No kits, no CNC machines, even just old school style. Just big pencil with some paper, and then move that to MDF, and then cut templates, make the templates, and then build the bodies off of that. Bodies, necks, inlays, all that we do.
Sure. How do you decide on shapes?
I draw them, and then I build one, and then I reshape it 3 or 4 times. Stare at it for about 3 weeks, reshape it again, and then kind of like go from there. And so I'm happy with it. So there's lots of discarded templates, because once you kind of take it from paper to an actual piece, you can kind of get a good feel for like how it's going to sit, how it's going to balance, where your locations are for your controls, all of that stuff. And then if it doesn't hit where I want it to, you toss it in the pile and start over again. And I look for stuff that's has good functionality, but also nice lines, and makes you kind of want to like look at this guitar from different angles, because trying to blend a little bit of art or beauty into also some functionality. So
And one of the things I've noticed about your guitars, and you guys will notice some of these when we give you a preview of them, is Chase does a really good job at building shapes and being unique without being pretentious, if that makes sense. So like a lot of times you'll see builders and they'll purposely go out of their way to make goofy shapes and a lot of them are just ugly. I love every single one of the shapes that Chase has come up with. So we're going to show you some of them. The first one I want to talk about is this guy right here. Tell me about this guitar, Chase.
Okay, so this is the Cobra model. This is one of the most recent designs that we came up with. This can be flavored kind of different ways. So we do a bolt-on neck. This is an alder body. We do sort of like a slight swimming pool route in here, so we can have different configurations regarding what your control layouts are going to be. So with this one, we have a set of Lawless Strat Specials, CRL 5-way. You've got master volume and then tones, wired up basically like a Strat, set up like a Strat. Clues and 2-point trim, clues and tuners, bone nut here. Just a comfortable, good playing guitar. We kind of, with our heels here, we make this real comfortable. We round this out, so you've got good access. And then part of this German carve isn't just stylistic; it's actually, it gets that kind of out of the way. So if you're
and hold that up to the camera, would you, so they can see it a little bit better?
Yeah.
Here, guys. So here's what he's talking about with that. You notice the heel contour in the back. It's got that nice kind of dipping shape that makes it really easy to play on the lower frets. So if I wanted to pick one of these up or have you build one for me, how much would that run me usually?
These start, so my bolt-on stuff starts at $2,800, and then for set neck models it starts at $3,800, and then the options will dictate what the final price is. So we've got Challenger models back here and varied. Most of the time on the high end you might get into mid sixes, but we're getting into very fancy woods like Pale Moon Ebony, and different personalized inlays, heel caps, lots of fancy woods, lots of binding. Coil taps, electronics, all that stuff kind of dictates where the final price ends. But for kind of like entry, something similar to this would be right around $3.
Okay, sounds good. Now we've talked about a single coil model. Let's talk about one of your humbucker models here. Grab that one behind you if you would. Alright, so tell me about this guitar. This is the one that attracted my eye the most when I came over here.
So this is the newest model. This is called the Imperial. So this is kind of an evolution of the Challenger, which was the first body and guitar that I designed.
Right.
So everything from that is kind of an evolution of sort of that design. Like, so this is like the single cut version of a Challenger, basically.
Sure.
This is an all mahogany body, mahogany neck, ebony fretboard, mother of pearl inlays, set of Lawler Imperials. This is great hardware here. I started using recently from Schroeder. Fantastic.
Hold that a little bit more this way so the camera can see it.
Fantastic company to work with. It's literally a husband, wife, and son, and I believe California, if I remember correctly. But the tolerances and the build quality on this stuff is fantastic. It's just top notch. I can't say enough good things about their products. Same with Lawler. Their pickups are fantastic.
Yeah.
They kind of help achieve the sound that like I want as far as clarity and also power. They're fantastic pickups. We're using Clusen waffle backs on this guy, so you've got a real nice kind of like throwback, bone nut, carved and nice and clean. We've got a blue back here. The heel is also carved, and I do this kind of wave here that it's kind of asymmetrical, so as you come up, it kind of lets your hand sit right where you want it. We did a little bit of a burst along the edges too to kind of add a little extra flavor to give it that sort of arch top finish kind of feel. Yeah, I mean that's I think everything for this particular guy.
Awesome. So what's your best seller then?
Probably the Challenger is the one I've done the most of, but recently the Daytona and the Cobra models have both been pretty popular.
Sure.
So it's just everybody's kind of got their own flavor, and all of them, as long as it's like one of my body styles, we can kind of make all the features sort of fit whatever the artist needs.
Sure.
With the exception of scale lengths, I've kind of set on these being a 24 3/4 scale, and the bolt-on stuff 25 1/2 inch scale. It's just the way the bodies were designed. If you start manipulating the scale length, bridges move, heels end up in different spots. So some of that stuff's kind of has to be baked into the model design.
Sure.
But as far as pickup configurations, control layouts, tuner choices, finish options, bindings, all that stuff can be kind of tailor-made for the client.
Awesome. So how far are you backed up right now with builds?
Right now, I'm about 6 months to 8 months out on the current batch that's in. We've got 5 or 6 builds going. I try not to take on more than 10 at a time to kind of keep everything from running over. And that way it lets me kind of like work with the client and not have to worry about rushing anything or making sure that we're getting the product that they deserve.
Sure.
So we're right now that's about where we are. We are open for deposits again. I always sneak in a few, stock builds while we're doing client builds as well, so that way I have stuff to bring out and display. And I was lucky enough, some of my good customers, friends, family, kind of stuff, as I'd like to call it at this point, were nice enough to loan me a few to bring out to the show too to display. So, it's cool. I enjoy doing it.
So if people want more info, where can they go? Obviously, you have an Instagram page,
Yeah, we've got an Instagram page for Gullett Guitar Co. You can go to gullettguitar.com. That's the website. Most of the models are up on there. I do not have options for the V's currently on the website yet. So kind of work in progress with that. It's kind of one-man shop, so we do everything.
Sure. Awesome. Well, Chase, thank you so much for having us.
Hey, thanks for sitting with me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. So guys, if you want to know more, again, I will post links in the description. I'm going to go ahead and play these 2 guitars we talked about for you, but that'll be a different video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have fun playing.